Hello folks, the Y Guy here again. Welcome to my home on this very windy spring day. The name of this video is called The Y Guy Fruit from the Poisonous Tree. You know, there is a term that is used within the judicial system called fruit from the poisonous tree. If any of you have seen any of my previous videos, there's one where I put basically hell on trial. Okay, if you'd like a link to that, it might have even been a two-parter. I think it was a two-parter, where I shared in that video a little bit of my background, where I was a ranch hand. Actually, I ran the ranch for a district attorney in Colorado. And around the dinner table for over 2 years, we discussed cases. And I was going to go into law enforcement myself, and I passed all of the written exams. I flew through the written exams and the physical exams, but you know, I have a feeling my psych profile I wouldn't have cut mustard with that, because I'm a very passionate person, and I hate seeing injustice. I hate that. That's why this district attorney thought I'd make a great DA. But I didn't have the funds to go to law school and what have you. So instead, I'm doing these videos. How's that? No. Actually, I did write a book. And that's why I felt it necessary to write a book called In Defense of God's Love. And I'll leave a link for it, an Amazon link in the comment section of this video here. And so, anyhow, this video is called The Y Guy Fruit from the Poisonous Tree, and I'm going to explain what we're dealing with here. First off, if you look back, what is this? This is March of 2019. For the last 2 years, we have had the fruit from a poisonous tree shoved down our throats by the mass media. Now, I'm not saying, you know, I voted for both Trump and Obama, okay? I'll just come right out and say that. Why? Because I believe in giving everybody a chance. All right, and I believe men's hearts are good unless proven otherwise. Now, if you're looking through a lens of hatred, you're not going to see any good. It's as simple as that. So I never hated Obama. And but yet we've seen the fruit, and this isn't a political video, believe me, you're going to understand this here. But we have seen it in our face for the 2 years of what fruit from a poisonous tree does. This means if a charge has been brought against a person that is based upon falsehood or lies, then everything else brought forth has been tainted, regardless if some of it's true. You know, making none of it admissible as evidence in court. Okay, now that's what I mean. This is what we have experienced. Now, how does this work within the Christendom? All right? Some are not going to like this, okay? But for centuries, Christianity has been basing justice and salvation upon the fruit from the poisonous tree. How so, you might ask? Well, you know, the Latin Church in AD 440, they poisoned, they plagiarized, and they edited various letters and manuscripts inserting the word infernum, which was translated as hell in English. They did this. They inserted this into those manuscripts and into Scripture 111 times, where that word never existed before within those manuscripts. Okay? Look into this. Prove me wrong. It's what happened historically, okay? Now, by them doing this, it resulted in what we now call our modern-day Bibles. And what I find so interesting and so pathetic, I guess, and I never saw it before, so I'm talking to myself here. I must have been pathetic, because there are dozens upon dozens upon dozens of Bible translations, or I should say versions, and not one of them agree with how many times the Latins inserted the word infernum into it, or hell in our case, since we speak English. They don't agree. I've said that before in other videos. That should make you think. That should make a red flag just explode in your brain. That if hell is true, for one, if it's mentioned 111 times in the Vulgate and 54 times in the King James, and only 12 times only 32 times in the New King James, my numbers might be off because I don't have any notes here in front of me. You know, if it drops that dramatically, boom, 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 and yet originally it was 0 times, something is wrong here, folks. Something came from fruit from the poisonous tree. All right? Now, due to this fruit that the Latins did in 440 AD, due to this fruit from the poisonous tree, a doctrine of a false godly justice was established because of that one little fraudulent word. And you know what? That wasn't the only fraudulent word that was inserted in there that the Latins did. That was one of many. But I'm picking on that one. All right? Because now salvation is based upon the fruit from the poisonous tree. How so? Well, salvation really, truly means, the good news really means that we are saved from our own violent passions, so that we stop hurting one another, so that we can love our neighbors as ourselves. Salvation is meaning to live a vivified life, to have a relationship with God, saved to have a relationship with God. But yet, because of the fruit from the poisonous tree, now Christendom says salvation means to be saved from hell. Can you see it? Can you see the perversion that has taken place in history because of that damned poisonous fruit? Now you see why the majority of my YouTube videos are about that one fraudulent word. Most of them are. You know, most falsehoods within Christendom traces back to it. Almost all of them do. Trace back to that one stinking little piece of poison that has poisoned the minds of men. Okay? The fruit from the poisonous tree. Yes, I'm very passionate about it. I can see why I didn't become a police officer. Ooh, things I'd have to put up with. And smile. Ooh, it wouldn't happen. In closing, Jesus said it best when he said it only takes a little leaven, one little word, okay, to leaven the whole loaf. And it did. Horribly. Scriptures have been leavened, folks. This is why it's so important to learn how to rightly divide the word of truth from the words that are lies. Okay? Hell is a lie from a poisonous tree, centuries old. From paganism, thousands of years old. Well, if you disagree with this video, which most Christians do, unfortunately, you're still eating the fruit from the poisonous tree. It's as simple as that. Not because you disagree with this video, but because you believe and promote and endorse the hell doctrine. That's why. Okay? I doubt very many Christians will even watch this video. But anyhow, leave me a thumbs down if you disagree, of course. And if you're going to comment about it, you better come with some facts, some historical facts. All right? If you just feel like just taking your tainted, I'm not saying the how do I say this politely? Oh, wow. If you're going to just vomit Bible verses to back up the fruit from the poisonous tree, I can come right back the same way, except none of it's poison. Every verse that I will come back with will offer a vivified life, will defend God's love. Every verse will defend God's love. And consider subscribing to this channel. If you haven't already, look me up on YouTube. On Facebook under a group called the White Guy Group. It's a private group. There's a public timeline where you can find me under the name of John Anthony Jones. It's not my name, but it's an avatar name. Look me up there. You can see stuff and spy on me, okay, without me knowing it. You don't have to become my friend. If you want to copy and paste some of my stuff, and you can share it on your timeline as, look at this, what this heretic is saying. Feel free to do that. Anyway, thank you for viewing.